Democracy. Democracy is a system where ordinary people choose who runs the country. Citizens vote in regular elections and candidates compete for their support. If people are unhappy, they can vote leaders out and pick someone new. Basic rights like free speech, protest, and a free press are usually protected. The central idea is simple: government power comes from the people, and it must keep answering to them. Republic. A republic is a country without a king or queen at the top. Leaders like presidents and lawmakers are chosen to serve the public, usually through elections. A written constitution sets clear rules and limits that even the leaders must obey. Many modern countries are both democracies and republics. People vote, but the law is above everyone. In a healthy republic, leaders are temporary caretakers of the country, not its owners. Dictatorship. In a dictatorship, one person holds almost all political power. They usually gain control through force, fake elections, or by removing every real rival. Courts, police, and media mostly follow the dictator's wishes, not the people's needs. Life on the surface may look stable, but people cannot safely criticize or change the leader. Power depends more on fear and loyalty than on real public support. Totalitarian regime. A totalitarian regime tries to control almost every part of life, not just politics. The state shapes what people read, watch, learn, and often what they are allowed to believe. Schools, news, posters, and social media repeat the same official message about the leader and the system. People feel like someone might always be watching, so they hide their real thoughts. The goal is not only obedience, but full loyalty to the state's version of reality. Monarchy. A monarchy places a king, queen, or royal family at the center of the state. Power is usually passed down through the bloodline, from parent to child. In some monarchies, the ruler still has strong control over laws and money. This is called an absolute monarchy, where the royal has real political power and can make big decisions. In a constitutional monarchy, the royal is mostly symbolic, while an elected parliament and prime minister actually run the government. So in one version, the monarch rules, and in the other, they mostly represent the country. Communism. Imagine your whole city as one giant public company run by the state. You work in a factory or office the government assigns, live in housing it provides, and shop in state-run stores with only basic options. That's roughly how a communist state works in practice. Most big things like land, factories, and major services are owned or tightly controlled by the state, not private companies. The idea is to reduce class differences and share resources more equally, but it often means fewer choices and less freedom to disagree. Socialism. Socialism is a system where the government plays a bigger role in the economy to reduce the gap between rich and poor. The state collects taxes and uses that money to provide public services like healthcare, education, and pensions. Some important industries like energy or transport may be partly or fully run by the government instead of private companies. Many countries mix socialism with markets, so people can still own businesses, but basic needs are more supported by the state. Fascism. Fascism is a hard-line, ultra-nationalist form of rule that worships strength and unity. It pushes one pure national identity and often blames outsiders or minorities for problems. Opposition is crushed, and people are told to follow the leader and the nation without question. It promises pride and power, but usually brings violence, censorship, and deep damage to society. Theocracy. A theocracy is a system where religious leaders hold most political power. Laws are based mainly on religious texts and religious rules, not just on secular or civil law. Government offices and religious institutions are closely linked and sometimes led by the same people. Religious rules can shape courts, schools, dress codes, holidays, and daily public behavior. People who follow a different or no religion may still have to follow the majority faith's rules in public life. Military junta. A military junta is a government run by top officers of the armed forces. It usually starts with a coup, where soldiers remove the old leaders and take over. Generals then hold both political and military power at the same time. They often promise order and security, but tightly control politics and limit civilian voices. Technocracy. A technocracy gives major power to experts and specialists instead of typical politicians. Decisions are based on data, research, and technical plans more than speeches or emotion. Supporters say this can mean smarter policies and less corruption or drama. In a technocracy, leaders are chosen for what they know, rather than how good they are at campaigning. Meritocracy. A meritocracy is built on the idea that the best people should rise based on skill and effort. Jobs, promotions, and leadership roles are supposed to depend on talent, not just family name. Schools, exams, and performance tests are used to decide who moves upward, but not everyone starts at the same point, so merit can still hide deep unfairness. Anarchy. Anarchy means there is no recognized central government in charge. No single authority makes and enforces laws for the whole area. Sometimes this leads to chaos, violence, and strong groups taking over informally. Other times, small communities try to organize themselves with local rules and agreements. It's basically society asking, what happens if we remove the referee? And hoping people still play fair.